Hi, I'm Rob and this is Gems of War. I get asked sometimes in the comments how I go about building my teams because some of my teams are slightly weird and unusual. So I'm going to tell you. I do have two or three methods that I'd like to use and I'll show you a couple of them here. This one is a super easy method, the first one, and I'll show you the more complex one after this. This is a really easy way of building a effective team. And this team I built here was built almost as a joke really, but it worked surprisingly well. This team, the Guild Wars before the last one, won 5-0, and it won 5-0 really quite easily because one match the enemy didn't get a single turn in a whole game, and in another match they only had one turn. So super effective and super good. And how I come about it was quite simply I got fed up with getting a load of goblin matches in my games on Red Day on Guild Wars, and I wanted to beat the goblins at their own game. So I said, right, red. We need red because we want everybody to be red on Guild Wars Day, and then we want extra turn. So I put extra into the search category. Now this is all the troops we have which are red and have an extra turn. But I don't want an extra turn like this where it's like a 50% chance of an extra turn. It has to be a guaranteed extra turn, like Fundingus, where it just gains an extra turn as part of his spell. So we've got all the troops here which have an extra turn, and cut a story short, I ended up with this team here which was super effective, and I've put the link in the description of those battles of that Guild Wars Day because it did work really well. So on to the main point now, and I'll show my other main method of making a team. I was going down to my test area. Right, I've emptied everybody out. I've just left that there because just as a gap. We'll fill that up in a minute. Right, where are we? I'll start with class, which is unusual. I know a lot of people would start with a powerful troop or something like that, but I tend to start with class. What I'm going to look at is all the benefits that I can make the most of in that class. So we've got Heatwave, create a firestorm at the start of every turn. So we're going to get red and a lot of them. Pretty good. In the talent trees, I'm going to look for what is the most horrible thing the enemy would hate the most. Like what's something really offensive and nasty. Fireblade, that's pretty good. Deals triple skull damage to burning enemies. Right, I'm doing this on the fly, so it may go wrong, I don't know. But I'm going to base the whole concept of this team around that one thing. Deal triple skull damage to burning enemies. Right. And this is how we'll do it. Go back up to troops. Still want red. Card order I will change to base rarity. And we'll change extra to burn. Because we do triple skull damage to burning enemies, we need someone to burn them first. That's kind of logical. This is where game knowledge and troop knowledge may come in handy, because I know Infernus burns all enemies on 4 or 5 gem matches. So we'll throw him in straight away. If you don't know your troops that well or don't have Infernus, you may have to look elsewhere at other troops to see what they do regarding the burn thing. But you want as many people burn as quickly as possible. If you don't have somebody that burns everyone, then something that burns the first enemy, for example, would be ideal. So now we've got lots of red coming. We've got triple skull damage on burning enemies, and we've got someone that's going to burn them. But doing triple skull damage to burning enemies is no good unless you have a lot of skulls. So now I want a troop which is going to generate skulls now instead, or as well, sorry. So we'll change that to skulls. Now this is all our troops that have something to do with skulls in there. There's too many of them. Right, so we need to narrow this down. Infernus is divine and elemental. So we'll change troop type first of all to divine and have a look in there, because basically the more troops of the same class you have in your side, you get little benefits for that, and that can make a difference. This is all we've got to pick from, this 8 here. Killing is pretty good. Brown gems to skulls, not bad. Luminath is okay, but yeah, you need to kill someone to gain the skulls, so that's no good. Right, not a lot of choice there. Infernus has two classes, Divine and Elemental, so we'll look in Elemental now. A bit more choice here, a lot more choice. But one stood out to me absolutely immediately, which was the Mirage Queen. For two reasons. All Elemental allies start with 50% mana, which is superb for Infernus. And converts all green gems to Doom Skulls. And curses all enemies. That is actually very useful in this. We'll pop Mirage Queen in there straight away. If you find someone half decent, just chuck them in there straight away. Like if you come across somebody a bit better later on, you can just swap them out. It's no big deal. So, right, Shegra. I wasn't thinking along the lines of Shegra when I was thinking of this as I go along, but Shegra could work superbly well actually. It's elemental as well, which means it's going to have that half start from Mirage Queen, and he creates 6 skulls, then turns all red gems to skulls. So, I don't think we can say no to that. That is very, very good. Another good thing about Shegra as well is, it's a important thing to notice, is it doesn't say he's immune to web, but he effectively is. When it's written like this, all in black, like create 6 red gems, then turn all red gems to skulls, that can't be changed. Even if you get webbed, that is still going to do that spell in exactly the same way. Someone else, like say Garuda, who deals, in my case, 33 damage to all enemies, if he was webbed, that 33 would be a whole lot less, and he would be really affected by that. But when it's written like that, all in black, that cannot change, even if webbed, so that is one cool thing to remember. Right, now we've got our troops, we need a weapon to go with that. What's going to complement that really well? Basically more skulls if we can. Right, Doomed Crossbow. Deals damage to all enemies and transforms blue to Doom Skulls. Pretty good. We'll chuck that in there as a possibility. But the thing that stands out to me right now in this team is it's lacking several elements that I do like in a team to make it work really well. We've got a fast start, which I like. We've got 3 of our troops starting on 50%, which is really, really handy. But the other elements that I do like that we're missing is we're missing a mana generator. Infernus does generate some mana, but he has to be charged first to do it. We're missing a cleanse, which is important, and I do like to have a summon as well. I know it's a big ask to have all them things in a team that synergizes well with each other in the first place, but that is actually what I aim for with a team. The only option I can think of elsewhere for this would be Divinia. If we had Divinia, we'd probably have to swap out the Mirage Queen, because you need Infernus because of the burn. And Shegra is too good to lose because of all those red to skulls. Because of the storm as well, that makes it really important. But yeah, we can experiment with this. We can try swapping Shegra out for Divinia, and we can try swapping out Mirage Queen for Divinia later on. But I'm going to roll with this one at first, see how it goes, because I don't like these other doomed weapons. The doomed weapons that do damage and then change a colour to skulls are far more effective than these other ones, although this one is a possibility because we do have a cleanse. But we have a cleanse, but we have to get it charged first, and that's the thing. Other weapons that could be feasible in this side? Not tons. Maybe Fist of Heaven would work, because it explodes a load of yellow gems, which is going to be useful to Infernus. And grants a random status effect to Divine allies, so Infernus would get that too. And we have a summon. So that's not bad, and it's only 14. So that would be possible to get that charged very fast, so that could work. So we'll try this side first. If that doesn't work, I may go along and try Fist of Heaven instead. Right, banners wise, we're on Guardian banner at the moment. We probably want +2 red, +1 yellow, minus green, whatever that one was called. But at the same time, this one could work because where Shegra only uses 14 mana to get charged, he's going to start on 7 with a mana surge and +1 brown. He's going to be ready to go absolutely straight away. So I will stay on this one for the minute, because getting Infernus charged is probably more important than getting our Doomed Crossbow charged, to be honest. And this gives us the chance of getting Infernus charged quickly and Shegra charged quickly. So, right, let's do some testing. Right, when testing, don't shy away from the tough battles. The tough battles are the ones you want. When you play Guild Wars, for example, Guild Wars is not going to be kind to you. It's going to give you the horrible teams that you absolutely hate playing. That is not a normal Guild Wars team. That is more like a normal Guild Wars team. So we'll play against this one. And take the rough with this move when testing. It's possible you may actually smash the opposition on the first few games and think the team is amazing. Keep trying it. Keep trying it against all those teams that you hate. The Life and Death Arachnian Reaver Avalon teams, the Zulgoth Thrall teams, the Rope Dart teams. This is the teams you want to play against. The ones that you see in Guild Wars all the time. And if you win or lose, take the rough with the smooth, like I say. Like, even if you get smashed, it doesn't mean to say the team is terrible. It just means sometimes there was nothing you could do about it and the colours just did not go your way. So just deal with everything as it comes along. Now Thrall's about to explode a load of gems, so we've got the burn going, but we've not. We need to get Shegra going really. If we could get brown, that'd be useful. But if not, we can do purple and blue. That'd be good. Right. Oh, I didn't notice we were frozen on red then. That's why you have to pay attention even when just testing. Alright, let's do a bit of damage. Right, that worked out good. Now we've got Thrall burn as well. And we've got all options. We've got green to skulls, but that's not lining up anywhere. Blue to skulls lines up lovely though, so we'll do that on our doomed crossbow. Now we've got red to skull still on Shegra and green on our doomed crossbow, our doomed thingy, what's she called? Mirage Queen. Right, I'm going to do Mirage Queen. Yeah, so that worked out very well for the first one, but we'll try it because we did have a little bit of luck there on those colours near the end. Like the lack of a cleanse on this is slightly an issue, but the way you can combat that is to on your medals just put as many Orpheus ones on there as you can. Like start with Medal of Anu to give yourself a quickish start, and then just put the rest Orpheus. That'll give you a much better chance of getting cleansed at the start of each round. Should we start entangled? Because if this side gets entangled, this is the one weakness of this kind of side, I suppose. Is we're based, apart from Infernus, we're based almost entirely on skull damage. So if we start entangled, that is really bad news for us. But if this works out in a good way, this team could be devastating. We've just set fire to everyone, look, on the very first turn. And if we take this one, we'll get a 4-match on them as well, which is going to one-shot that opponent straight away. And we're going to get Shegra charged now. Take that. Now we've got everybody charged. Now we've got blue to skulls from our doomed weapon. Now we've got green on Mirage Queen. Yeah, and right now I'm quite liking this team. But there's no need to get carried away because it can, go the other way. A good example of that is in my last Guild Wars on Yellow Day, I had a 2 times Tian Yi team, which does seem a little bit far out, but it worked absolutely fantastic in testing. I'm not kidding, I played that team 30 times in P versus P in a row and it won every single one, and only 2 or 3 games were a little bit hairy. The rest I absolutely obliterated the opponent. But come to Guild Wars Day, it didn't work. That's the way it goes sometimes. Alright, let's just do this one. Test it one more time. Like I say, even if this works, or if it doesn't, then I would still play around with it a bit and try a couple more weapons that have a cleanse, say, see if Divinia for Shegra or Mirage Queen works better, because sometimes it can surprise you. But overall, I actually like the way this team is working so far. And we've already one-shotted that opponent, because we got that 4-match straight away, which burnt everybody, and then we got a lucky skull hit, and it was good night to you. Right. That's not going to one-shot them, but it is going to do a hell of a lot. Then set them up for an instant kill. Now he can go Shegra. Yeah, so this seems pretty effective. I'd be tempted to use this on Guild Wars, to be honest, because I do like to do things that are a little bit different. I don't always go with the same old meta, red teams, etc. that everybody uses. I find that a little bit, I wouldn't say boring, but I'm not really interested in doing the guaranteed, not guaranteed teams, but the ones that everybody uses. It's like, I try to create my own stuff, which is a little bit different. And this one may well do that. So there's the video. If you found it useful or helpful, be cool if you subscribed, because it really does help. But most of all, thanks for watching, and see you again next time. Bye for now.